Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Footy with Chudi. I'm your host, Chudi. I'm here today with Aminu, Skip, Edusa, and our long suffering colleague over here, Dami. Nice to finally see you. How long has it been? Today, we're going to try and do a quick roundup of the weekend. The first weekend game week of the Premier League is in the books. We're going to talk about the new rules and we're going to do a combined Big Six, part of our combined top six series. Spurs versus Manchester United is this weekend. So, let's go. We're going to start with Dami if he is there. Are you there, Dami? Come back. Beautiful. What do you think about the Liverpool-Chelsea game?
Unfortunately, I didn't get to watch because I was at work, but I saw the highlights, and I was expecting Liverpool's defense to crumble, to be honest, because I have no faith in the defense of carrying over from last season, but they held out pretty solid. Um, what was I gonna say? Enzo looks like a different
Okay.
player from the highlights that I saw compared to last season. So I'm glad we were able to contain him at least, and I guess we got unlucky with Salah's offside goal and I think he hit the crossbar too.
Dude, with his weaker foot.
So yeah, so offensively at least we look pretty hopeful for the season. But yeah,
Okay. I'm hopeful for it's kind of a conflict of interest because I like Klopp and I like Poch as well. So I really wanted I don't even know who I wanted to win, to be honest. I just want to be entertained. Like I just want to be entertained. And entertained I was. The match flew by. I was damn,
yeah.
it's over already. It was one of those. Amino, what do you think about Poch and what he's building in Chelsea with the new signing of what's his name? Caicedo, as well as possibly getting what's his name? Latvia?
Lavia,
Lavia?
Lavia as well.
money
Is it
washing, money
over?
laundering.
Is it overkill? Is it human trafficking? What is going on here? How are they allowed to do this?
Well, I mean, long story short, it all boils down to the length of contracts that Todd is giving to these players. Some are getting 9 years, 8.5 years, 8 years. So it's crazy stuff, and then he's able to amortize the payments for those players. But in terms of like the game for Chelsea Liverpool. I thought it was a really exciting game. Like it was devoid of midfield, so it was just end to end.
Open.
It was the Caicedo derby, so you could see why both teams wanted him. So I'll say I was impressed by both teams really, even though um, the midfield and the game was kind of open. I would say I was pretty impressed with what Poch is cooking up at Chelsea, and also with Liverpool being able to bounce back from last season. But for sure, I think coming out of that game, I think Poch would be the happier of the two managers. And to add insult to injury, he's also now the one that's now getting the midfield players that both clubs are trying to sign. So I'm definitely keeping my eye on Chelsea, but so far, like things look good, and if players start coming back from injury, I think Chelsea will be a problem this season.
I'm liking Axel as well. He reminds me of a young me. Big, strong, fast, dreadlocks. It looks like I can confirm that.
Of a
It looks
young
like
who?
I think you
Did you
you
say
mean
Ben Me?
Awoni
no,
from
no,
Did you say
Axel.
Ben Me?
A
Forest.
young
That's
me.
who. That's who. That's who you should compare yourself to.
Oh my goodness. Edosa, I guess maybe loses my train of thoughts. Edosa, I had Chelsea in my top four before they signed Caicedo. Now they've signed Caicedo. You never had them in your top four. Do you believe that they can make top four going forward?
No, I think the importance or effect of Caicedo has been greatly overstated
Mm-hmm.
because people forget that he was a system player.
Mm-hmm.
Like before Caicedo joined Liverpool, I'm sure they sold the Jones he can play six. That guy is not a six. You could see it very much on display over there.
Mm-hmm.
So Caicedo can tackle, but I don't think Caicedo can play DM the way they want, especially because Enzo isn't really defensive, so you can't have them as a double pivot. Attacking wise, Chelsea would improve because Caicedo has skills on the ball. But that game against Liverpool, they were playing. If either of them were playing a team that was coherent and what they were trying to do, they would have gotten blown away completely because there was no midfield at all.
Mm-hmm.
Like there wasn't anything that looked like a midfield. The defenses were not exactly solid either. So it's more like you had these attacks where basically Liverpool had too many attacking players, so they didn't really know how to gel. Chelsea was trying too many attacking players and never played together, so they didn't really know how to gel. So that's the reason why it was 1-1. If this was like game 18 of the league season, both teams' attack would just go into the other team. Like it would be like 5-5 easily. Because there's nothing going on in the defense or midfield for both teams, in my opinion. But I mean, Caicedo is a good player. They're not going to regret signing him. But it's just for the next 2 years, I might come for him. Then it tells you how this get my box up over to so I don't know. Again, it was an interesting game for someone who doesn't particularly care what Liverpool Chelsea do this season.
Yeah, neutral. Skip, last word on this.
What's the question again?
What do you think about the game, the effects of Caicedo on the team? Will you guys make top 4 or win the league
Regarding the
with him?
game, like it was what I was expecting. I said this is going to end up in a draw because we're at like somewhere like a similar like points, but we're coming from two different angles. Like if that makes sense. Like Liverpool problem, how they got to where they are right now is different, and how Chelsea got to where we are is different. But where everybody can look at that team and be like, you guys, both teams need like someone that can read game better defensively and basically lock things down defensively and all of that. So the game was interesting. It was kind of okay. The formation was a shock to me because we haven't played all preseason. We haven't played the three at the back. So all preseason. So we ain't playing three at the back. I just have a feeling it's some kind of adjustment to to look at Gallagher, because imagine playing 4-2-3-1 with Gallagher at holding, that's even going to be worse. So like I think like the three at the back was just a way of like, you know what, let's contain this till we get someone defensively, like a little bit defensively minded, right? So that's that. And regarding Caicedo, to be honest, like you guys know me, I've been calling for like a complete rebuild of our midfield for like up to 4 or 5 years. Like immediately Conte is not playing. Immediately Conte is not playing for us with Kovacic to Jorginho. That was a whole horror, and I've been complaining about that. So getting this, I'm kind of happy, and I'm kind of like, then they can release Enzo a little bit. Caicedo is not like he's not sitting. He's not just someone that will just sit there and just wait. Again, that goes back to the argument of saying pure DM, a destroyer and all that. Like, if you look at it right, Rodri doesn't even sit. It's only when they're building, play from the back, that's when Rodri sits. Apart from that, he's now like, he's joining attack. The times of like Mikel will be where you just stay there, you don't contribute anything to like other type of play or anything. I think those days are over, right?
You guys should have gotten Fred.
Yeah.
Taking Fred from us.
Like those days are over, and so Caicedo will improve the team, but I don't think he's going to improve the team to the level of let me say, people saying, "No, Chelsea are going to be in top 2, top 3." Again, I want to, again, like
Nobody's like, who's saying that? Man.
No, not you guys. Again, not you guys. Again, here's the thing, not you guys. But if you go online, you will see people saying that, oh, Chelsea, and I'm like, okay, you guys need to chill. There's still a lot of work to be done. But like, do I like the idea of what Caicedo is bringing to the team? Because no team in Premier League would be like, oh yeah, we don't want Caicedo. Caicedo is not going to be improved our midfield. Like again, that's a lie if you say that. So Caicedo is coming into any team and is improving that team. So that's that. So again, coming in, let's see, and let's go from there.
Does he improve the team though as well as Mason Mount though? I'm just joking. We'll talk about Man U later. Let's talk about the new rules. There's been some new rules in the Premier League this season, and we've already seen the effects. Of course, our boy Mikel Arteta is chopping the first yellow card from being the manager dissents, I believe. Yeah, so they're cracking down on behavior. Managers behaving themselves on the touchline. 3 yellow cards. If they get 3 yellow cards, the next match is suspended. Another rule they are adding is the time wasting rule. So they're basically adding the minutes for every single second wasted from the player being on the ground to celebrating. What do you guys think about this? Damn it.
I say overkill. I feel like it's kind of taking the fun out of the game.
Which one? Both?
Wasting the one of penalizing for eating into game time from celebration.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's just a respected tradition they're just coming for now. Like
It's not eating into game time
that's
as much as they're just adding it that for more play time. Like, okay, you can celebrate all you want, it's going to be added. Right? It's not as if we're like, bro, don't celebrate at all. You can celebrate.
It's not like it's not like guys will go and celebrate for like 5 minutes or come out and do a whole Beyonce routine after they score. Like, it's a part of the game, but oh well.
Ronaldo did a Beyonce routine when he scored that one time.
I didn't see it. Oh.
Oh my goodness.
And then sorry, can you go by the penalty one again?
They're penalizing managers for being basically not behaving themselves on the touchline. So if they're shouting at referees or being overly emotional.
That one I understand because sometimes these managers they're getting a little too excited.
Mm-hmm.
But are we also talking about the ones about fouls that lead to penalties?
Yes, we can talk about that as well. But let's talk about the first two first.
Okay,
it's funny.
Sure.
My opinion is like I'm the opposite of your opinion. I think punishing the managers is too much. They shouldn't punish them for expressing themselves in the touchline. They should punish them if they're shouting at the fourth official, but they shouldn't punish them for expressing themselves in the touchline. I think that's harsh. I think that's really hard. I think you're taking emotion out of the game.
Yeah.
Like remember Conte? How Conte used to celebrate and all that stuff. Jump into the crowd, getting a yellow every time. But if they're insulting the fourth official, like Klopp was doing that one time, all right, calm down.
Yeah.
Aminu, what do you think?
I think I'm 50-50 on the penalizing the manager thing. I do think that when they go after the referees, that one for sure they should crack down on that. And I'm definitely curious to see how many yellows Klopp and Arteta are going to pick up this season in particular.
One.
Yeah, that was in the Community Shield, but we'll see how many they get in the league.
I think he got in the league as well, didn't he? That was confirmed. Okay, that was Community Shield.
No, he didn't. Yeah. Right. So that one I'm 50-50 on it. If it comes to celebrating, I don't think they should penalize them for that. In terms of the time wasting one though, I love that rule change. Like, at the start of the season, I expect there'll be a lot of crazy extra time, 10, 11, 13 minutes extra time. But towards the end of the season, it will taper off because that's exactly what happened at the World Cup, right? At the start of the World Cup, you'd see every game had 8 minutes extra time, 10 minutes extra time, and then towards the end, it came down to reasonable time just because players adapted. In terms of goal celebrations, it didn't change anything. I mean, it didn't stop Nketiah and Saka from going to the corner flag and doing their pose there. So guys are just going to continue as business as usual. I think what will change is the way teams time waste. So before, the goalie will lay on the ground, hold the ball, or the defender will take time to throw in to do the throwing and all those kind of tactics. You take long to take your free kicks and all that stuff. But now they'll probably try and do more back passes and passes in the defensive third to maintain possession when they want to time waste. And overall, I think that will improve gameplay. Obviously, there are 5 subs now, so the extra sub is there to account for the alleged, extra time that's going to come into the game. But I definitely like those changes.
Skip, what do you think about the statements, the the thinking or the way of thinking that people say, it's going to be advantageous for bigger teams because they have a deeper squad in this situation?
With the substitution rule, right?
Not the substitution rule as much as the time wasting. There's going to be like 15 minutes extra time, so people with deeper squad can
To
bring
be
more
honest,
quality players.
I do agree with this. I do agree with all the rules. I think it makes sense. I do agree with all the rules. Like, it makes more sense if you look at it. Like, again, let's look at it from, like, now, Wolves today. If the refs have done like Wolves today, if the refs have done like a better job and make the correct decision, that would have been, the added time is advantage, is towards Wolves if we look at it like that. So it's not saying, it's advantageous to one team. These small teams too, when a big team is leading 1-0, they pile the pressure, and that's when you see the long balls and you see all it's not
I
just
wouldn't
going
call
to
Man U a big
benefit.
team. Like, can you do that to Man City? You know what I mean? Like, if Man City is leading 1-0, Wolves can't do that to what? You know what I mean? They can't do that to Man City.
But yes, they can do that. But it's the way Man City play that they take the life out of the game. Like, they just be like, that's how Man City play. But if they lose the ball in that position and they give it to the opponent, again, the opponent will press more, the opponent will have more energy. Like, we have 5 minutes more. Again, that's when the lesser team will have more energy. It's not matter. It's like the quality is not in question here. It's more of like gaining more energy and be like, let's go for it now. Let's go for it now. I'm sure you will see some teams that will be like, let's wait till they give that extra time of 9 minutes, then we go for it. So, like, again, that's what it's going to be. So, like, it's not. Again, you can look at it and be like, the big club have bigger squad, they have better players. But, like, again, those better players, when they come into the game, they need longer amount of time to just
get
enter
the
the
flow
game.
of the game.
But those smaller guys, they know, like, I only have 5 minutes to try. I better go do what I want to do. So again, there's argument for both sides. So I don't think it's that like you can. I don't agree with that. Let me just say that. But like all the other rules, like the celebration, like again, be a manager, control yourself on the top line. If a player, right, and you're going to go celebrate, they are not telling you not to take 5 minutes to celebrate. They will just add after 5 minutes. They are not telling you they will add it. So if you take an hour to celebrate a goal, just know there's about 1 hour waiting for you. Again, it's not. They are not telling you not to.
How you take an hour though? You run into the stores, go and have some dinner
And again, and also when we look at the delays and like the time wasting, we've seen some players that will stay. That's when Mosupu will start. If you pull Mosupu, that time is waiting for you. No worries. no, hold it. Again, this, if you look at it, we're actually getting, it's going to be more exciting. And I'm 100% sure the extra time goals we're going to see this season is going to be incredible, and we're going to lose our mind. Be like, oh my God, this, if it's against your team, you're kind of like, I wish it's just
like today.
But if it's for your team, like, again, look at Arsenal now in Community Shield. Like, that's one going for them. Is it the 20-something minute they added? Yeah. Even look at that.
Minutes.
Like, that's the plus for them. But you won't see anybody talking about it. But the day we go against Arsenal, like that 9 minutes or so, that's when you feel like, why?
Twitter will
United
let you know
now, you see, like, again, the day we go for them, everyone likes it. But the day we go against it, that's when they will complain. So, like, and again, when it comes to the penalty rule, right? Again, we were all shouting like every contact inside the box, every handball is a pen. That was what every one of us was saying. But now they adjusted it a little bit, and they're like, it depends on where your hand is, and like, if you jump like this, again, you can't defend that. If you jump a little bit like this, again, they put some brackets in it, and they explain every one of them knows the rule. I don't know why they're shouting now. Like, the rule is the rule. You're all aware of that. And again, the two calls, the Chelsea one and what was the other one? I think it's United. Yeah, the United one. They are consistent on that.
Yeah.
So you
I
can't
don't
be
think
like,
the United one was a handball. I don't think it was a handball.
So, like, again, they are consistent on both calls. So you can't be like, only the ref knows the rule. Everyone knows the rule. So, yeah.
Two things with what you said. I was even thinking towards the part
You're muted.
Am I?
You're muted, Trudy.
Yeah, we can't hear you at all.
No.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was weird. Anyway, in terms of what you were saying about the squad depth, I was even thinking, who does City even have to bring off the bench anymore to really scare you? Like Palmer? Like who? There's nobody in their depth isn't as they don't have their depth isn't as deep as it used to be,
No, but
and
Pep regularly doesn't use all his subs. I think
mhm,
the difference was rotation. Like
mm,
he rotates more than he does subs. So I
subs.
don't
There
think it
you go.
makes any difference for City.
And in terms of control yourself, bro, it's funny. I was telling somebody earlier, or was it over the weekend, because I was watching the games. When you're on the couch sitting, it's easy to be like, why are you guys always arguing with the ref? He's never going to change his mind. But
But
we've
have you
all
seen?
played a
Wait.
game.
But here's the
We
thing.
all go to argue with the ref when they call a foul
Have
when
you
we're
seen
in the
Pep?
game. Even, I'm sorry?
Have you seen Pep and Ateta? The amount
And
of time
Klopp,
they
and Klopp.
dress. Pep, I said Pep.
Klopp is the worst to
Klopp
me.
and Ateta. Have you seen how many times they dress the fourth official and they are pointing at the ref during the game? Have you seen that? Like they again, I agree they need to.
Yeah, you go.
They need to real.
And Klopp
And
is
also,
worse because he's so tall. So he's not
again,
looking down
yeah,
at
like you need to you need to control yourself. Again, Conte, no, like if you run across the whole pitch, that's a foul, and that's a card, But if you just go and celebrate with your team members and all that, they are not telling you not to celebrate with your team members, but you can't be running up and down and be shouting at like fourth officials and like when the ref make a call, you almost enter the pitch to go tell the ref, what are you doing? Like, control yourself a little bit. Most of these guys are the face of the organization, face of the league. Like, if you talk of them, like, just control yourself.
It is, sir.
I think it's easy to say control yourself, but if you think about the two yellow cards that coaches got this
Weekend.
week, this weekend, and the commentation is because of complete ineptitude on the part of the ref. So you have to ask yourself what makes somebody get to that point.
Mm-hmm.
There is no accountability for these refs. They can do whatever the hell they like. So if you can't no, but it's true. You can't. There's no accountability. Lee Mason got fired last year. Now he's in charge of training the refs this year. Training them on what? He doesn't know how to draw a line. What's he going to train them about?
Look at that, yeah.
No, so I'm just saying, like they're not allowed to fail. But the rest for the coaches, that point that you're costing them could be the reason they get fired.
Mm-hmm.
What do you expect them to do? Right? And then if you think you can actually read up on this, talk for I think it was kind of the one about they had Ateta in mind making this rule, which is funny because the poster boy is not Ateta. It's supposed to be Klopp because Klopp has been doing this for longer than Ateta has been the manager. But Ateta is somehow the person they had in mind. So I think when it's one or two things you might call it coincidence. After a point, it's no longer But that said, like the other rules, like I think the extra minutes is excessive, mostly because the sport like with the amount of money and tech that is in football, they should just have a stop clock. Every time the ball goes out, time stops. Like in basketball. Every time the ball goes out, and like whatever you do, ball just stops. And then as soon as the ball starts playing again, once 90 minutes is done, you're done. You call it a day, everybody go home. This week we've had 5 days here injuries. These guys
They're tired. They play a lot.
They're done. It doesn't make sense for me because I'm like, yo, you're paying me to play ball. These guys, their bodies can't take it anymore. It doesn't make sense that they're falling like that. So you're giving them too many
But none of
games.
those injuries were at the end of the game, though. They were all mid-game.
Yeah,
Still,
I don't think ACL is tied to
Early in the
tiredness.
season.
No, but
And it's still early in the season, too.
No, but they've been playing non-stop since 2020, basically.
But here's the thing: the stopwatch thing is actually going to make them play longer. Like last season, the average time the ball was actually moving was around 50 minutes.
no, that was just for the. That was just for Amino's favorite coach. That was the Atletico's game in Champions League.
No. Like in Prem, if you look at it, that's like 50 minutes. 50
Yeah, it was
minutes ball being
55,
played.
but then Newcastle, their own was down to 50.
Yeah,
So yeah,
Newcastle
but I
Arsenal.
do
Yeah,
So
agree.
yeah,
again,
that
average
game.
so
was in
again,
the
with the
60s, though.
stopwatch, they are going to be playing 90 minutes. Like if they're playing, that means they're going to. So again,
Yeah,
I'm saying
but
like
if you're
this
playing,
extra
if
time
you're
is
going to
even
be
more.
playing 90, if you're going to be playing 90 minutes, that's just it. You're playing 90 minutes. Your body knows it's going to be 90 minutes. You get like you train with that in mind already. Not the one that you come. You're not really anticipating that Newcastle are going to take 1 minute on every single goal kick. So now half time you have 15 extra minutes, and then at the end of the match you have 15 extra minutes.
But during those times, you're not running around though. That's the
It's
issue. You're not
fine as
running
long as
around
the
those
ball is
times.
moving. The time is still counting anyways. So that's what I'm saying. It doesn't really give you more time. Like, yeah, sure, I get it conceptually. The ball moves for the full 90 minutes, but it's doing that anyway. It's just you're losing time in random places. So for me, I just think that there's too much money in the sport for them to be doing all the stuff that they're doing. Time. Like, it's too arbitrary. Um, it doesn't benefit anybody at all because if you have a big squad, then now you can't really justify not playing certain players. If you have a small squad, now the players are going to die because they're playing too many minutes. So it averages out at some point for somebody. Um, yeah. So those are my thoughts on these are the ones I actually care about. The only one
At the end of the day, if I can just add to what Edosa said, like for me personally, the amount of money in this sport and the amount of people, like if you look at Ferguson, right? Ferguson will tell you, oh, he just need starting 11 and 2, 3 other players. Now people are having first team, second team. Some are even having like 8
Chelsea
others,
is having first team,
like
second team. That's stupid.
not just that. They have to buy
That's
so like
another club to put
so
players
like
in, bro.
So like there are teams that have like 5, 6, 7 players. Again, you have the money to build the squad or like the finance in the whole like football this thing. Build that team. Look at what City did. Like the way Pep was just there's like almost like he was changing his whole like almost his whole level. You can do that. So also fans are not complaining. Have you seen anybody saying, "Oh, I'm tired of watching football today," or this like tired of seeing this? Again, it's the demand, and like what they're just doing is just feeding us. So again, personally, I love it. More games, more competition. Let them build this thing. Hey, so that's that.